starting five for UW. The starting five for the North Dakota State Bison are Molly Lenz, Abby Draper, as well as Avery Coonan, Abby Schulte, and Abby Kraswinski. Yes, you heard me right. 4 out of 5 players start with A, and 3 of them are named Abby for the Bison. Try and keep up. I won't go by first name a lot today. Tip won by North Dakota State after a little scrum on the floor for it. Bison going from right to left here in the first half on your screen, wearing the yellow kits. On the other side in all white, going from left to right, it will be the University of Washington Huskies. Jump ball will send possession to UW real quick after they lost the opening tip, so that means arrow goes your way as Savia Sellers will bring it down the floor. A little give and go with Sellers. Kick out for 3. Got it. Hannah Steins gets it going. A 3-0 lead for the Dogs early. Driving towards the key, putting up a tough shot off glass was Abby Kraswinski. Kraswinski gets it to go. It's 3-2 just like that. The Bison are on the board. Driving to the key. That's Ladine that just doesn't have the finishing touches on it. Goes just off the mark, and Bison turning the other way. Avery Coonan with the ball now, 6-2 forward. This shot from the elbow goes back iron. Savia Sellers the rebound. She'll weave down the court, gets it to Ladine. Ladine jump stops. Started to move that pivot foot forward to possibly threat. Instead holds it up. Delea Daniels touches it before it gets back to Sellers. Ladine gets a screen from Eke. Works around the screen. Thinks about a pull-up to Sellers. 5 on the shot clock. Ticking down. Sellers with the shot clock expiring. Floats it up and in. And after a 30-point outing versus Utah, Sellers right back to work, scoring all different types of way. Man, she is dangerous. 5-2 UW lead here. For options, now going in, intercepted by Ladine. Ladine will turn it the other way. She's looking for options up the floor, gets it. A nifty pass to find Delea Daniels for the simple lay-in, and that's Ladine and Daniels combining for an easy bucket, 7-2 Huskies. Ball inside, no foul called in the initial attempt, and then stuffed on the second attempt. I believe Eke got the hand to it. That was Coonan being rejected. Cross-court pass gets caught, but then quickly taken away by Coonan. Coming the other way now. Cross-court to find Lenz. Lenz looking for options. She goes out, now stop, pop, Schulte. Schulte to the top of the key, where Coonan kind of resets and gets it to Lenz. Lenz dribbling around. Schulte gets a screen from Draper, goes inside. Savia Sellers will end up with it after it was kind of put in her back pocket. And what a pass there to find Eke. Savia Sellers can do it all. She can score from anywhere on the floor, and she can also find a teammate like that for a crafty dish to the bucket. 9-2 UW in front. Good start by the Huskies. Driving to the hoop is Kraswinski, who has the only points of the day thus far for North Dakota State, and she'll get hit with a foul there. Sellers, you see that pass. Good job on adjusting, getting the pass a little bit high from so close there. Eke able to adjust and say, okay, look, let me just keep it up high and make it a simple lay-in for the 6'2", 6'3" Spaniard. First shot is made by Kraswinski. She's a 60% free throw shooter on the season. Second year with the Bison, 45th game as a member of the North Dakota State squad. Goes 2 for 2 from the line, and it's 9-4. Washington in front. Starting 5 no longer out there, as I believe Chloe Briggs just entered for Delea Daniels. The other 4 on the floor for UW. So that's a missed layup by Eke, but a good move to get to the basket. Coming down the floor, Coonan just dropped the truck stick on Chloe Briggs. Out of Ontario, California, Briggs, the sophomore guard. Outsized there by Coonan, who stands 6'2", 3 inches on Briggs, but Briggs just got in the right positioning and got launched right at about the free throw line. The referee was all over it coming down the floor. Eke with the ball up top. Sellers draws the double team, but now it's back off. Then Sellers finds her way to the hoop to lay it up and in. Wow. Sellers every single game shows more and more what a kid from Alaska can do on the court. Looks like the Huskies are switching on just about everything defensively. Nearly a shuffle of the feet there by Amelia Hobson, who's into the game, the freshman out of Parkdale, Australia. Lenz gets a screen from Simon. Simon gives her some space, and the three is missed. Good box out by Sellers to prevent Coonan from getting to that. Then Sellers, oh yeah, almost looked like it traveled the other way as well as the three-pointer goes front iron from Steins. Bison ball coming down the floor. Lenz keeps going all the way, nearly trucks Daniels, and then just puts way too little on it on that layup and throws an air ball from about 5 feet away. Ledeen inside, stop, pop, spinning, stepping, high, arcing shot, and down the hatch from El Ledeen. Now it's Coonan with the ball at the top of the key. Early part of this game dominated by UW. Only points have been scored by Kraswinski and a missed shot. Then Coonan gets her own board and puts it in. And for the first time, somebody not named Abby Kraswinski. Good job to get taken away from there, and that's what he was offered in Fargo with the Bison here. Of course, good athletic program all the way around as Ledeen has the turnaround. Get in the hatch for him. North Dakota State Bison football program, of course, one of the pedigrees of FCS football. They'll be playing against arch rival South Dakota State in the FCS semifinals come Saturday. Dish out to Sellers. Sellers will stop, reset it, and just a jab step. Gets to the hoop, missed it. Rebound by Briggs, and then she has it swatted from behind, and a jump ball will be called. I believe it will be North Dakota State basketball. We're going to down now. North Dakota State with the basketball. This is Marissa Frost. Leanna missed shot goes out off of UW. Here's another crazy thing. We have 2 games today between 2 long-standing women's programs, 2 women's programs that have been good. Both games are the first ever matchup between the 2 sides. Furman lost to Boise State 74-65 in game 1 as that one's thrown out of bounds, turnover for North Dakota State. So Boise State comes out with a win. They take a 1-0 lead on the all-time series between 2 programs that have been around for 50 years. And this is also the first matchup between these 2 programs. Sellers started to take a 3 and then was trying to figure out how to pass it away and ends up with the turnover that way. Would have got it if she came down with a traveling call anyway. 15-6, 3 minutes to go here. Launched out. Stern with the basketball now, worked around, back to Frost. Frost, left-handed, looping shot, good box out by Briggs, but nobody was there to collect the offensive rebound. Now Briggs gets it up the floor, kick out, three-pointer on the way, can't go. That was Devin Coppinger that couldn't find the finishing touch on that one. Stern will hold up the offense, get the ball out on the top of the key. Nice play drawn up there, but Frost just wasn't heading towards the basket. 3-pointers long. Sellers, another rebound for her. Man, she's been collecting the boards. Ledeen now looking for options. Nearly got it poked away from behind, but figured out somebody was coming from behind her at the right moment. as Brenna McDonald gets the basketball. McDonald been a key part of this Husky puzzle. The grad transfer out of Yale. Sellers then driving towards the hoop, floats it up and in. Sellers, just such a natural scorer, is able to find a way to float that bucket in, and immediately head coach Jory Collins calls a timeout to have a talk with the squad. This North Dakota State squad went 22-12 last year. They've improved every year under head coach Jory Collins, but last year was a big breakthrough. Made it to the Summit League Finals, where they faced off against the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. South Dakota State, no game can be overlooked. They're going to go through every game in their schedule, but I am sure that Jory Collins has January 29th and February 12th circled on his schedule. Those are the two games that they will play against the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. And those are two games that are going to kind of take the full-on tempo of how the Summit League is going to go this year, because South Dakota State is a power and makes the and one, converts it. It's a 7-0 run by the Huskies, up 20-6 here in quarter number one. 9 points by Savia Sellers. And a charge called on North Dakota State as well. This is a Bison squad that has been so potent in the first quarter, outscoring opponents 195 to 132 in the first quarter. It has been by far their best quarter of the four in the season. As this going to the hoop, another bucket. This time it's Devin Coppinger to finish it off and get her first bucket. And now all 5 on the floor for UW have at least 2 points. Only 2 on the floor for North Dakota State have any points. This one is going to be a turnover, the 9th turnover of this quarter and of this game by North Dakota State. They're shooting 17% from the field, and they are down by 16 very early, under a minute to go in quarter number one. Steins looking for options, finds Coppinger. Coppinger cut off pretty sharply there by Hobson. Now ball being worked around still. Steins back with the ball. Steins looking for options, dribbling in and out. 5 on the shot clock, 35 on the game clock. Sellers with it as the shot clock expires, needs to do something with it. And she was just smothered by Abby Schulte. Right now, Sellers 9 points in this first quarter of action. A 9-0 run, and it's been over 4 minutes since North Dakota State has scored a bucket. They've had 6 turnovers in the last 6 minutes, 5 in the last 4 minutes, and then 1 of their last 11 from the field. Lots of work to do on offense for the Bison. Of course, the defense hasn't been much better. Lenz will try for 3, and it gets nothing. And with .2 left, University of Washington will have an inbound. They'll just try and get it in without. And it'll be touched, and that will for the University of Washington, as tracking it down there is Delia Daniels. Works it around. This is Steins. Daniels down low, looking for options. Double team came quick. Now Daniels turns, loops it, tried to find another big in Eke, but could not connect with the forward out of Madrid, Spain. Daniels, first 2 years at Cal, was a Berkeley Bear there before spending the next 3, including this one at the University of Washington. 115th collegiate appearance here for Delia Daniels. Turnover on a bad pass, coming the other way, high off glass, and Daniels gets the putback. She's nearing in on some milestones, 18 away from 1,250 collegiate points and 18 rebounds away from 750 collegiate rebounds. Game 1 of the Husky Classic had Abby Muse, a big for Boise State, reach 1,000 rebounds in her collegiate career, which is an incredible mark. Obviously, just to get to 750, which it looks like Delia Daniels will do, that's a big mark as well. Turnover on a bad pass by North Dakota State. They are up to 11 turnovers through just a little over a quarter. Hell Ledeen with it. Ledeen looking for options. Goes down low, back to basket. See if the big can make something happen, but too much on the shot from Eke. Bison, 6 points. Begging for something on offense, but this Washington defense is so good. If they're not forcing you into turnovers, they're blocking your shots. They have a ton this year, including a school record for blocks in a game. And it was 16 versus Prairie View A&M as we get an offensive foul called, I believe, on the hometown kid, Mariley Simon. See Simon coming up here and just a little bit kind of leaned into that one. 24-6. Daniels gets it out to Ledeen. Ledeen to Coppinger. Now Ledeen looking for options. She's trapped near the basket. Puts it off of the Bison's Abby Draper to keep hold of possession. Steins will get it off the inbound. 7 on the shot clock. Looking down low. And a turnover the other way. That's the 5th turnover today by UW. Abby Draper with the ball, guarded by Eke. For the most part, you see the Huskies continuing to switch on all screens. Three-pointer is going to come on the way from Graham. Graham goes back iron. Eke strong rebound. Finds Steins to push the fast break. No Sellers on the floor. It looks like Stein is the point guard to be called upon. Coppinger goes with a little give and go to Eke, who turns and puts it in the hoop. It is 26-6, a 20-point edge for the hometown Huskies. Coonan. Draper picks up her dribble, doesn't have much to do with it, hands it off to Schulte. Schulte spinning towards the hoop, and nearly a great finish by Abby Schulte, the senior out of Maple Grove, Minnesota. Instead, coming the other way, and the fella number 24 dishes out a nice pass to Delia Daniels, who goes under the hoop and can't finish that one. Pushing the fast break, bringing it up the floor as Frost gets it off to her teammate, and for the first time in about 10 minutes of game time, the Bison have a bucket. It's Abby Graham who finishes it off. Abby Graham in her 75th game as a North Dakota State Bison. A little bit of a PMW homecoming for her. She's from Portland, Oregon. And the freshman, Coppinger, who decided to play in her home state. The Everson, Washington native puts it in. Off target on the shot there, Abby Draper was, and now it's a 5-on-4 coming the other way before Draper eventually gets involved with a kick ball by Coonan. Seeing new bodies on the floor for UW. Sellers back in, as well as I believe Tegan Brown coming in for the first time. And Chloe Briggs also on the floor for the first time. Inbounds coming from under the hoop. Sellers gets it. Give and go play drawn up there. Gets it back to Delia Daniels on the low block. Seeing if she can do some work. Goes back iron with the miss and the rebound nearly in the hands of Tegan Brown, but a strong command on that one by Graham, the kid out of the Rose City, just down I-5 from where we currently are. Sure, she might have some family coming to support her in the building. Obviously, a lot easier to get to Seattle from Portland than to Fargo. Ball being worked around. Shot clock is expiring. Graham's going to try again. Goes front iron. Rebound off of the Huskies. Botched the rebound there. It was kind of in an awkward spot for Daniels. And right at the 5-minute mark, the Bison will have a 28-8 deficit to inbound here. Inbounding will be Graham. Stern is out there on the floor, as well as Kraswinski, Lenz, and Simon. Ball inbounded to Kraswinski. Gets it to Lenz. Lenz looking for options. To Simon. Lenz then a little hesitate. Floats it up. Kind of throws it up there. Offensive rebound by Simon, and the putback is good by the second-year player out of West Fargo, North Dakota. Ledeen, she'll try for three. Ledeen from deep off target, and it will be off the University of Washington as we are in time for a break. 28-10 as we head to a break. 4:39 to boards today for either side, but points in the paint. University of Washington lopsided in that department. 20-8 in points in the paint through this early going. 4:25 to go, 28-10, 18-point lead for the University of Washington. Sellers nearly came and picked the pocket of Simon. And talk about points in the paint. You go to the big there and Simon, and it's exactly what happened. Simon has blown up. She got 13 points versus Jamestown, of course, which is an NAIA foe. But she has shown that flash here in her second year. Sellers tries to go off glass, and it doesn't touch. Fighting for the rebound for UW was Olivia Anderson, but it was ripped away by the Bison. 16-point game, 3:50 to go now. Now 3:45. Down low, hook shot off back iron, gets it back. Coonan then rejected, but it was poked away only far enough to dribble out. A couple good defensive options on both sides there. I believe that block did come from the 6'6" Olivia Anderson out of Ellensburg, Washington, just over the mountains from here. All the way to the hoop, drives Tegan Brown. Good finish from the junior out of Sacramento. Now looking around. Bison with the ball, down by 18. Back to Coonan. Coonan down low, gets it to go off glass. Good finish by Abby Draper. Draper just started her career with 1 year at Bradley, played 26 games there. Was a well-earned contributor, as it's a unforced turnover on a mishandling of the ball between Shayla Gilmer, who's in the competition, as well as Brown. Just couldn't get that trade off perfectly. But Draper, who just had that bucket for North Dakota State. 1 year at Bradley, but this is her third year now at North Dakota. So you see a foul called on Eke. 2 shots coming for North Dakota State. I mean, they don't have any mutual opponents this year other than the University of Montana. And Montana's a really interesting team to look at because you can see the score right here. It's 30-14. University of Washington with the lead as the first shot is missed by Draper, who's a 68% free throw shooter. Washington, in their only true road game of the year, went to Missoula, Montana, and lost. They got stunned, really, by the University of Montana, who is a good squad, but North Dakota State then hosted, as Savia Sellers missed that shot, North Dakota State then hosted Montana just a couple weeks later, and they beat Montana. So you're going, how did Montana beat Washington and lose? Of course, you got home road splits there. There's something to go there, but certainly interesting case of where Montana, where North Dakota, if the Huskies kind of continue on the pace that they're at, what does that mean? I think, to me, as Savia Sellers does what she does and scores a bucket, I think it means that it was just kind of a outburst and an outburst from Montana, a letdown from the University of Washington when they played in Missoula. Sometimes That's the great thing about basketball. You catch fire, you're hot. You can be just about anybody. 1:34 to go, and another turnover by North Dakota State on an errant pass. Inbounds will come here from Delia Daniels to Savia Sellers. Sellers bring it down, get it back to Daniels. Daniels now trying to work a screen game before looping it to Briggs, who tried to go to a kick out, but it was knocked down by North Dakota State. The reason I talk even more about Montana is I called Montana playing South Dakota State, that other team that I talked about in the Summit League, that North Dakota State will be very keyed in on. And Montana was right there with them. It's interesting how we're all connected in this almost Rocky Mountain north to northwest region. Looking for options here with 4 on the shot clock. Need to get a shot up. And it's going to expire, I believe, just before Daniels released that one. Turnover for the Huskies there. Second time they've been kind of more lax with the shot clock winding down than they probably should have. Still a 17-point edge for the hosts. Trying to start their Husky Classic 1-0 at their home court. Leia Daniels getting worked on, and a rejection there against Avery Coonan. Holy smoke, she sent that one back where it came from. Daniels listed at 6'4". Did not want anything to go from the 6'2" Coonan. Daniels, and then she's working on Coonan, and she gets that one left hand off glass. And the final possession of the first half should be upon us with a 19-point Husky lead. It'll be ticked down to the final seconds here. Tina Langley shouts her defensive instructions to her squad as the attempt that goes off glass is off target. Rebound eventually falls to North Dakota State. They come out of it with there, and then I believe the clock expired. It games in her collegiate career and has scored just under 700 points as a collegiate player. Ladine tries for 3, but it's blocked and grabbed by Coonan. Lenz will lead the fast break, and then Sellers just takes it away. Holy smokes, that could have been done next door on the football field. Instead, Sellers doing it here at Alaska Airlines Arena. Just the strip sack fumble recovery, whatever you want to call it. Sellers turns defense. That makes it just look so fun. Ladine, a perfect dish on the bounce pass to Eke. Eke now up to 6 points. He is 3 points shy of 700 in her collegiate career. They're giving plenty of space to the three-point shot of Abby Kraswinski. Kraswinski, a 39% three-point shooter. Pretty darn good. I don't know if I'd give her that much space, but they learned to pay for it, did the Huskies. Now on the backdoor cut, Ladine gets it, but then opts out of going for it. Steins now. Steins waving everybody around. 76 game played as a Husky for Steins. Ladine with it. Ladine to Eke. Eke gets it back to Ladine. 3 on the shot clock. Ladine needs to fire it up. Gets front iron. And it will be grabbed near the baseline by Coonan. All the way to the hoop. A little reverse layup by Abby Schulte. Not the worst looking spurt and a half time right now by North Dakota State as Eke tries to go off glass, gets her own rebound, kicks it out. This is Stein for 3. Steins knocks it down from downtown. And the 31% three-point shooter makes the Bison pay, and it's back up to a 19-point lead. Battling down below the basket. Ledeen going at it with Draper. A foul's going to be called on the floor on Ledeen. Sellers right now leads all point scorers with 11. The top on North Dakota State is Kraswinski. She's got 7. She's the only Bison to have eclipsed 5 points today. Kick out to Kraswinski. Kraswinski will try and make it 9, and she does not. Miss shot. Offensive board and the putback from Simon. Simon once again bringing an offensive rebounding chance to this North Dakota State squad, and continues to keep to be the thing that's keeping them in it. Largely in it, at least within some semblance of distance. Washington's still comfortable lead though. Sellers with it. Sellers has really been quiet since quarter number 1. She hit 9 points in quarter number 2, has only scored 2 since. And I'll eat my words. Apologies to the Bison fans watching, listening. The announcer's jinx is upon us. So say he hasn't scored and she needed to score. Beautiful little just floater. 41-22 the score line. Turnover there, gives the ball back to Washington. Huskies still shooting over 50% from the field at 51%. So we're going to have more conversations with the scorers table right now. Double check on anything that has to do with possession. Okay, so what we're dealing with is some sort of timing question that's happening right now. Here's a look at Sellers' finish there. The thing that surprised me so much, and you know, you got to look at a couple different names when you look at Sellers, just how much of a scorer she is. One thing, obviously, 5'7", in the big scheme of things, on the basketball court, you're definitely an undersized player. If you're Savia Sellers, you're dealing with 6-footers, you're dealing with people over that. She just floated that one over the 6'1", Mariley Simon. And so you got to say the Isaiah Thomas and the University of Washington Isaiah Thomas, the more recent one, not the Pistons one, you got to say she has some inklings of that Isaiah Thomas, that IT. And at the same time, just her ability to score. Obviously, she's up there with the best of them. As she'll take a 3. Missed it. Rebound offensive from Brown. And she'll pull it out back to the 3-point line. Look at her options. Gets it to Coppinger. Coppinger gets it out to Sellers. This is a zone defense look. And a long 3-pointer the other way. Missed shot. Good, strong rebound by Kraswinski to win it. 41-22, 5:50 to go in the quarter number 3 here. Going to work, back to basket, and tucking her head and getting the charge call there is Simon. See what she did there is, yeah, she initiated the contact. That's why the call went as an offensive foul there. Put the head right into the chin or upper chest, essentially, of a Husky. And as soon as you do that to try and earn space for yourself, the defender has the right to be there. I believe that's why that call went the way of the University of Washington. 41-22 scoreline, still 19-point advantage for the UW. Got themselves in a comfortable lead in quarter number 1, which has been the best quarter for North Dakota State this year. As this step back J is missed. Rebound collected by Draper. Coming the other way, Lenz with a head of steam, kicks it out to the corner for 3, and it's off target. Rebound Sellers. Sellers, 13 points, 4th rebound of the day. Kick out, pump fake, and hard to the hoop. Ooh, she traveled there. Just got her feet caught in what she was trying to do. Yeah, you see she kind of had that bunny hop to that left foot, and then she stepped that right foot out there when she was either hoping to shoot or pass it off by the time that right foot planted into the ground. The travel call on Brown. Should give a shout out to Brown, though. She just notched her 100th rebound of her collegiate career. A milestone for her, certainly. Hobson tried to go off glass, couldn't get it. Rebound goes to Eke. Sellers looking. Sellers kicks out to Eke. They'll reset the offense. This is Ledeen with it. Ledeen goes back into Eke. And a block there by Hobson. How about it, the freshman out of Parkdale, Australia. Step through from Hobson, finds the corner. It's Frost in the corner. Frost then dribbling, looking for options. She's outsized by Eke, so she'll go out with it. Lenz now with the ball. Tap of the back of the head, trying to set up something new. Draper thought about setting a screen for her, and then Lenz got it caught up there. And a good finish at the bucket by Abby Draper. All freshmen in the Missouri Valley Conference, which is where she played with Bradley in 2022. A good finish by her, and slowly but surely North Dakota State's getting some of these points in the paint back. But it's a missed shot by Delia Daniels. It looked like she might have had that one before just putting too much on it. Rolled off the front of the rim. 17-point edge for UW. Wide open under the bucket, and an easy layup. Great play drawn up as Avery Coonan gets the finishing touches, and it's down to a 15. Obviously, getting big win number 50 would be fun as well for Langley to do it here on the home floor. Three-pointer on the way from Sellers. Can't leave her that open. She'll make you pay, and the Alaskan does just that to make it 44-26. Langley graduated from the University of Western Alabama in 1996. First head coaching gig. As that one goes out of bounds, she buys the ball under the basket. 6 years at Rice, went 126-61 over the course of her time with the Owls. The final 3 seasons, her record was 28-4, 21-8, and 23-4 as it's put up and in off glass by the Bison. Abby Draper with the bucket. Back to a 16-point edge. Down low to Eke. Just too much on it, too strong. Sellers has 16 points. The next closest on the court is a pair of Bison with 7. That pair is Kraswinski and Draper. Almost taken away, but more or less just too aggressive from Delia Daniels, who will be called for foul. See Daniels just stepping in there trying to hedge that screen and just swiped at the ball and tried to go through Kraswinski to get it. Inbounds comes on the near side from Abby Schulte. In this second half, Bison once again left to right on your screen. They are in those yellow unis. Three-pointer on the way. Missed rebound, Daniels. Ledeen brings it up. Ledeen looking for options. Gets it down to Eke again, who was fronted. Then she kicks it cross court. Sellers wide open for 3. Missed it. Rebound goes to Draper. This third quarter has been advantage Bison, and they're trying to keep it going. Kraswinski for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound goes to Eke as Steins will bring it up the floor. She'll get it to Sellers. Sellers looking out. Ledeen. Thought about all our options, and in the end, just goes with the most conservative one and pulls it out. In this third quarter, it's been 13-10. The Bison have outscored the Huskies. Eke inside, hook shot, can't get it to go. .1:15 to go in quarter number 3. Ball inside, looking for just any semblance of space, but there's so much strength from Eke there that rebuffed it. The missed shot, though, results in a rebound. And North Dakota State's going to have a foul and head to the line for 2 as Sellers just tangled up Draper. 2 shots at the free throw line for Draper, 68% on the season. On the day, she is 1 for 2. Abby Draper is. Still blows my mind that 3 starters are named Abby. That's got to be. We got to find the unofficial stats on most common starting name in one lineup. As Abby Draper knocks it down. 101st game of her collegiate career. Makes both free throws. Abby Draper, Abby Schulte, Abby Kosminski.
Time now in for Dakota State.
Breaking the press are the Huskies. And then a foul is going to be called. For it looked like the Bison had the ball back. No, it'll be jump.
Bison foul number 40, Abby Kosminski, second foul.
Sellers goes into Daniels, who hands it back off to Sellers. For options, Daniels gets it inside, gets it nearly knocked away. Ooh, and she did just drag. That plant foot is what they're going to say. Yeah, just drag that toe across that Big Ten logo there. 14-point lead. Once again, North Dakota State refusing to go away easy. They're staying right in this one due to a complete team effort. Holy smokes, a big block by Daniels to earn possession back for the University of Washington. Daniels on the season with a total of 14 blocks. Now she's up over 15. Separation between game and shot is about 3 or 4 seconds. Daniels inside, looking for options. A little shimmy shake, still spinning, kicks it out to Ledeen. 7 on the shot clock, 10 on the game clock. Now 5, 4, 3, needs to get something up. Ledeen to the bucket, jump stop, and she's fouled. She's going to go to the line, a bailout foul with 1 second on the shot clock to send Ledeen to the free throw line. Ledeen has missed just 1 free throw this season.
Number 24, Abby Schulte is now in for North Dakota State. Ledeen with 2 shots, and get your dubs up.
The Huskies have shot 1 free throw today, as Ledeen misses her second free throw of the season. The only free throw they've shot was Sellers on the and 1 that she had in the first half. North Dakota State has only shot 5. They're being allowed to play as that one is missed as their first road Big Ten match. That'll be in Evanston versus the Wildcats at Northwestern. After that, take on the Illinois Illini down in Champaign. Full Big Ten. Man, it truly is big. It is a big old conference. That one is floated up by Abby Graham. Another Abby on this team. Insane. You'd think it's a recruiting tactic or something like that. I don't know. We got to talk to Jory Collins about that one, or at least how he keeps it all in order. 4 Abbies. Ledeen with it, 45-32, 9 minutes to go. Ledeen will pull up from 3, can't get it to go. Offensive board, put back by Delea Daniels. Nice pass under the bucket. What a pass to find Abby Draper, who finishes. This one goes to the corner. Ooh, Daniels was wide open on the low block, but they waited too long on it and ended up as a turnover. A foul called will send North Dakota State to the line on the other side. Marissa Frost, 87% free throw shooter. Shoot 2. Daniels trying to block there, but a good job by Frost to use her body to essentially put Daniels at a disadvantageous position. Frost really had her blow-up game in the aforementioned Montana matchup. Montana, who beat Washington, North Dakota State handled them. Frost had 27 points versus the Grizzlies. She was the 9th-ranked prospect of the state of Minnesota, and in their last game versus Tulane, she played 33 minutes. So Frost is somebody that is clearly very high on Jory Collins' list of players to develop and turn into a key member of this Bison squad. 11-point lead. All of a sudden, things are getting close here at Alaska Airlines Arena. Nice dish, and Eke is able to have an easy layup. Ella Dean, what a pass to find Eke, and Eke officially is over 700 points in her collegiate career. Coming the other way, almost got her feet tied up, did not put enough on it. It's another offensive rebound, and then practically a stiff arm like she's trying to take the Heisman Trophy away from Travis Hunter, but can't finish it off. Can Abby Draper. Ladine coming the other way, jump stop, gets to Sellers. Sellers looking for options. Sellers 16 points to lead all scorers. One of 2 double-digit scores, and another perfect dish to Eke, who has been the recipient of some late shifts by the North Dakota State defense that have left her wide open, and obviously some keen passing from her Husky teammates. 15-point lead inside. Coonan looking for options, gets the forward roll off the front of the rim. Coonan able to score that one. Coonan, sophomore, but 2 years ago when she was a prep senior in high school, ranked as the number 180 prospect in the country on Dan Olson's prep women's basketball report. Originally from Montevideo, Minnesota, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm pronouncing it like I would the South American capital. I'm going to assume it's the same way for now. Ladine looking for options. 2 on the shot clock. They need to do something with it. They'll turn it over. A bad pass trying to get it into Eke, but really running out of time on the shot clock. It probably would have been a turnover anyway. Cross court looking around for options. Graham for 3. Graham notches it from downtown. It's a 10-point game. Her 7th three-pointer of the season. And all of a sudden, Tina Langley has her work cut out for her, as the ladies who have been in a comfortable lead all game now starting to sweat this one out, but that's why you get it to El Ladine. Ladine from deep cashes it in. Just about 40% from behind the arc is Ladine. She takes efficient shots and she makes that one, as good defense will prevent a made shot the other way, as Ladine was all over Graham, who tried to poke that one up. Looking down into the front. It's poked off of Abby Draper. Whew. We got a great opening game to this Husky Classic as Boise State, incredible start they've had to their season, ran into a Furman comeback. It was tied. It was Furman lead late in that game, but in the end the Broncos survived it. And now here in game 2, we're seeing maybe the same storyline. The same storyline as a team that maybe is the underdog on paper, coming in and giving a favorite all they can handle despite some slow struggles to start. Ball down into low block. Coonan back to work. Launching onto the ground was a Husky, and then after a missed shot, it's a rebound and an and one from North Dakota State. Coonan goes to the line to shoot one more and has a chance to make it a 10-point game once again. Coonan, 15 points versus Troy. She also scored 15 points versus Eastern Illinois. She has 2 double-doubles this season in both of those games where she dropped 15. Man, she's been solid in her 45 games in a Bison uniform. Free throw goes in and out from the 77% free throw shooter, as nearly a travel committed, as this trap is working perfectly, and a timeout called by Washington. I thought that was going to be a jump ball the whole way. The Sellers, Ladine, the rest of her teammates that have been eyes up to give her some layups to get up to now 10 points. There's 3 players in double figures. Sellers and Eke are 2 of them, as Sellers back to work with just under the free throw line jumper to make it 18 for her on the night and a 13-point Washington lead. Down low, a kick ball by Washington. Other double-figure scorer is on the North Dakota State side. That's Abby Draper, who has 11 points. Limited three-point shooting from both sides tonight. Only 2 threes for North Dakota State, 4 from the Huskies. There's a free throw line jumper. As Mariley Simon gets it, and then a turnover on the press. Eke went down, and then Sellers is able to grab it, pokes it forward to Eke, who has a head of steam and floats it up and over Daniels. Both sides could have had buckets there, but nobody ends up with one. Good job by Sellers to even get that forward to Eke, but obviously not going to be enough there, as now we're looking at a North Dakota State offensive possession. Ooh, I thought that had the finishing touches from Mariley Simon, but it somehow stays out of the bucket for her. That would have cut it to a single-digit game. Instead, UW could try and extend the lead here. 4 minutes to go. Make or break time for the Bison. Shirley, elbow, jumper, Sellers, missed shot, Eke, offensive rebound, and the putback. Eke there once again, she's up to 12. 8 rebounds. And actually make it 9 for her. She is 1 rebound shy of a double-double. Eke now guarding Lenz. Lenz who just floats it up, but nothing to do over big Tyra Eke, who stands 6'3" and has started all 11 games this season for the University of Washington. 98th game in her collegiate career. Nearing 600 rebounds, already hit 700 points in her career today. She also had 8 blocks in that record-breaking night where they had 16 total blocks against Prairie View A&M. She had 14 rebounds in that Prairie View game as well. Eke having another splash of a night. Her high for the Huskies, as this one dribbled around on the ground and eventually goes off UW. Her high in points for the Huskies was actually their last game against Utah. Eke had 14 points, continuing to find a way to utilize her as a big part of this offense. It's so funny when I was assembling notes and everything for this, I said, okay, they lost versus Utah, they lost versus UCLA. And I knew for sure, UCLA conference matchup there, and my brain just defaulted to Utah as a conference matchup. Completely airmailed the fact that is not a conference matchup. This one put up and in by Abby Kraswinski. And it's back to an 11-point game. Sellers gets it across the timeline on a pass there. Wide open for a moment was Daniels. Non-conference matchup with a good Utah squad. And they came up 10 points short of taking down the Utes. Eke again, and she's tied for a season high with 14 now. Eke just the recipient over and over again of a steady diet of dishing, finding her for routine layups near the bucket. Thrown cross court, they need this 3, the Bison do, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound by Draper. Banging around in the middle there. Ooh, almost pulled up for 3 did Schulte, but she ended up going towards the bucket and floating a missed shot, and that's a double-double for Eke as well. She just pulls down her 10th board. 14 points, 10 rebounds, and Daniels floats it up. She'll get fouled. It might just be enough to start to think about sealing this one away for the University of Washington. As you see once again, that's kind of the same thing they've been doing to get Eke so open. Driving towards the bucket, one shifts over, who's ever guarding the big, but the problem is you need one more to rotate over and cover that big, and they just haven't been getting that second rotation, the Bison. That's the reason why Eke and Daniels, whoever else, has always consistently kind of found themselves open near the hoop. Daniels to shoot 2 free throws. 60% on the season, 15 for 25. Now she's 16 for 26.
Daniels and Dubs up.
Both are made. Daniels up to 10 points herself on the day. She joins Sellers as well as Eke in double figures. Eke did check out. Into the contest now is McDonald, the Yale transfer. Before this game ends, got to shout out Yale and the Ivy League. They will be in the FCS playoffs next year. So, in a routine way, in a circular way, North Dakota State and Yale or any Ivy League team can now meet in the playoffs. North Dakota State will probably be there until the end of time, until the end of their time in FCS. But Ivy League teams were never in the FCS playoffs, starting in the 60s, I believe. And today, the Ivy League announced that they would once again allow their champion to go into the FCS playoffs. There's a discussion happening right now, and I don't know what it's about. Maybe they had an ear on the broadcast, and they were interested in FCS football playoffs as well. 62-47, Washington lead, 1:37 to go here. Look ahead for the North Dakota State Bison as they are going to look at the replay of something here. North Dakota State takes on Boise State. That is only I believe it's one of the first matchups. No, it's the third matchup between the Bison and the Broncos. That will happen tomorrow at noon here on the Big Ten Network Plus, so make sure to tune in for that one. And then they head back home. They'll take on Dakota Wesleyan on December 29th. We're going to take a look at what they might be looking at, the battle down below the hoop. McDonald turned. So I didn't see anything in that replay, but McDonald, who is, I believe, called for the foul, she turned and held her neck. So as to imply that, hey, I just got elbowed in the neck, what's up with that? Obviously, didn't see much in that replay. Might have happened slightly before that. I don't know. I think it'd be fairly harsh to call it right here, but hey, what's bleeding a couple more minutes off the clock with 1:37 to go in a 15-point game. McDonald obviously into the game, 61 games played, 3 years at Yale, led the Ivy League in blocks 2 years in a row. And you can see Tina Langley, she's bringing in people that can block shots. That's exactly what she has with McDonald, who has 4 blocks on the year. Yeah. I'm not seeing anything. I don't think they called anything because we're just getting a regular old inbound from under the basket. So much ado about nothing, as Shakespeare would say. Let's get us back into action. 1:37 to go, 20 on the shot clock. 15-point lead for Washington. North Dakota State to inbound. And it's thrown up top. Driving towards the key and flipping up. Kind of a half-hearted attempt with all the bodies around her. I believe that is Graham heading to the line. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, she caught her face there on that one. First free throw is made by Graham, who has missed just 1 free throw on the season. She is 6 for 7. And now 7 for 8. 62-49 the score line as Daniels will bring it up the floor after the inbounds from Seller. And right back to the 2 Sellers, went right back to Daniel, who now has it and gets it back to the point guard and Sellers. Sellers will try for 3. Missed it. And Rebound pulled down by Graham. Graham guarded by Sellers. Works it around. It would still take a lot for North Dakota State, but they can't afford any possessions that don't end with points here, as that's going to be a layup coming in from Abby Draper. Draper now up to 13 on the day, and it's an 11-point game with a minute to go. Tori Collins and this North Dakota State squad, they're not going quietly. Two of their Abbies are balling right now. Graham with 9, Draper with 13. Stern on the floor right now, or at least left on the floor. The freshman out of Maple Grove, Minnesota. She's the only player on either side that does not have appointments on the floor right now. The University of Washington main thing here is burn some time. And the second thing is do not turn it over quickly, aka another way to not burn time. Press break coming up. Sellers to inbound, Daniels as well as Coppinger a part of it. Inbound goes to Daniels, who will put it on the floor and take it up herself. Get it to Coppinger. Coppinger over the timeline and finds the Husky and Brown. Brown goes all the way to the hoop and lays it up and in. And that has the feeling of something that just might about seal it. See what fight North Dakota State has the remaining way. As the three-pointer on the way from Graham. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, missed shot, rebound Daniels. Sellers to bring it up, weaving through yellow jerseys. A foul's called. Not enough to send Sellers to the line. It'll be an inbound in the backcourt for University of Washington. You see Sellers, man, she is just so fun to watch. I talk about comparison, maybe a little bit of an Isaiah Thomas in her, just with the savviness, the ability to score despite being undersized. Man, the craftiness in the key for somebody like that is just so fun to watch. Daniels lost that one out of bounds. Sellers' 43rd game as a Husky. She was an all-freshman selection in the Pac-12 last year. Hit 35 threes, so she can score from outside too, but I think that inside game has definitely been what's improved the most from year to year.